scrape it up. And then if you want, you can make it up. Take it up, take it up. Drop it back down so you shake it up. Scrape it up. And then if you want, you can make it up. Take it up, take it up. Drop it back down so you shake it up. I'm always first, that's crazy. My future never been hazy. I'm gonna pop it till I drop, cause I ain't dropping Miss Daisy. I'm always first, that's crazy. My future never been hazy. I got a boast, I move like a ghost. Give them that Patrick Swayze's. All of them lost, they knew the cost. I chase them down, I'm the boss. Up in a circle, hitting that purple. If that don't work, maybe a purple. Madison High, that is the spot where I get paid every raise. Sign on my checks with a big X, then get up out of my space. I'm always first, that's crazy. My future never been hazy. All of my shit, always legit, it's just what my mama gave me. I'm always first, that's crazy. My future never been hazy. Call it a win, once I begin, I'ma do it for my baby. Running back, watch out cause I'm on the attack. Passing by, it's easy, I'm not gonna lie. Running back, watch out cause I'm on the attack. Passing by, it's easy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. I am the one, hot like the sun, winning the races that pay me. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. Hitting the throttle, popping the bottle, pour it on top of like gravy. It's never a cap, winning the snap, and no one got nothing to say. I'm in every place, taking every race, nobody can get in my way. Tapping the brake, first to the take, I never knew how to die. Give all the rest, all of my best, all of that tanks running dry. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. You think you know how this will go, don't be so goddamn hasty. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. I'll see you there, blood in the air, victory's gonna be tasty. Crazy. My future never been hazy. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy. I'm always first, it's crazy. My future never been hazy.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
gentlemen, ready for countdown.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
The tracks you'd forgotten about are the ones you love.
131 Retro.
These go to 11.
Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance. Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uestas.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Night Thunder Shock Series. I was doing the best Joe I could. Hey, I'm your host, Big Al, and we are here round 10 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. This is the last and final round where tonight we will be crowning a champion. Like I said, I'm Big Al here, joined by tonight in the booth with Wesley Fuge and Kobe Jordan down below, pushing the buttons, making us look good and go fast. Hey, we're going to be here tonight, going to bring you every lap of this race we got going on. How you doing tonight, boss man? Why don't you talk to us?
I'm not sure exactly who you're referring to there, Big Al, but I know I'm doing good.
You. Sorry.
Oh, you were talking to me? Okay. I heard Boss Man. I thought you were talking about Kobe there, but I'm doing good. I just got done with my own personal league over on the Xbox side. I still do stuff over there just because it's fun every now and then. But it's looking good. Gateway is a track I actually love to race at.
Awesome. So you don't mind this track at all?
No, I actually like it. I like the fact that it's kind of like Darlington, but a lot flatter.
Even better. So got any predictions here for tonight? Maybe what we can look forward to?
Honestly, I don't know this field. I don't know these type of cars, so I'm here more as a spectator, but I'm going to try my best to talk over about what I'm seeing on track.
All right, I'm going to do the same thing. Speaking of which, why don't we take a look at the points here and see what we got going on here this evening. Oh, look at that. Mr. Watson's going to be on top of that points board right there with 5 wins and 322 points. Behind him, you'll see LaBarge, Mr. Brian with a Y, with 2 wins, and then Westshire has a win, and Simonfeld also has a win. Those are the only 3 other drivers to actually put a win on the season this season besides Mr. Watson. So James has definitely been eating it up. In case you're just joining us or you missed it, it's definitely going to be his race to just kind of enjoy tonight, if you will.
Just looking at these points, I'm not exactly sure how the races get scored with points, but it seems like James absolutely put on a masterclass all season long.
Yeah, he's been consistent. That's the word. And, and even when he hasn't been good, he's still been consistent. Looking at the race details, this track 1.25 miles long, be racing for 50 minutes. Fuel range is going to be 20 to 25 minutes with 4 sets of tires. Over the wall, air temp's going to be 66 degrees, 67 degrees on the street with winds of 12 miles per hour under clear skies. One's going to be out of the southwest. Now take a look here at the keys to the race. I'm going to throw that to you.
Alrighty, well, just based off what I know about Gateway, keys might be a little different here between NASCAR and this type of Indy spec, but precision number 1, it's always breaking into turn 1 with a heavy load. Turn 1, it is, you need to get slow. I called it a kind of a flatter Darlington, and it's definitely the case with turn 1, just because of how much you got to be breaking into it. You've got to be easy on it. Don't lock up your fronts. You're going to drift into the outside wall, and don't try to brake as you're turning. Your car is going to snap on you and you're going to spin loose. Then for key number 2, you've got clean corner exit. I'd say more important than the braking points and getting down into the turn is definitely exit. That's the case everywhere. It sets you up for the straights. Granted, the straights here ain't too long, but they feel like they might take forever if you get a bad exit. So easy throttle, early throttle through 1. You can kind of stamp on it a little bit, and through 3 and 4, you're absolutely kind of just dragging the car about half throttle for most of it. And as soon as you can get full power, put it down. And then finally going on to our third one. So managing the right front, that is of course the tire that's going to take the most heat, the most pressure, because it's going to get the most load. Sharp turn 1 and heavy braking, that's always going to lean towards the front tires there, especially the right side, since it is all turning left. So make sure you take care of it. Don't run too hot. Don't try to go for fast laps. Go for consistent laps. Even if you're a little slower, that conserving the right front tire can help you in the long run.
All right, those are the keys to the race. Looks like we are, where's the timers? There it is. We've got 1 minute and 12 seconds left in practice here before we actually kick this thing off into the real session. Just looking at the practice, I can say Brian Labarge has definitely been the fastest car on the track right now, putting up a 30.655. That's his fastest time overall, and that's pretty freaky fast. Right now, he just put up the fastest lap on that last one. So definitely thinking that Brian's possibly going to be here. And you said this was one of your favorite tracks. What are some of the things about this track that stand out for you the most?
I just love it because it's just a weird layout to begin with. It's not what you typically would see throughout the United States with their kind of ovals. Most of them are as deemed cookie cutters, where it's almost a perfect mirror from the front, from where the start finish line is going towards the backstretch. If you cut the track in half, you can almost perfectly match each side of it. So just the 2 different styles of corners, It's definitely makes it interesting. And then also it's shorter. So I called it a less banked Darlington. It's also shorter than Darlington, which honestly is my second favorite track out of everything. It's one of my favorite ones just because of how high speed it is. And it's the same here at Gateway. It's put on great shows. I know with IndyCar, the Truck Series went there for a bit, and now we're there in the Cup cars. Gives you some amazing races every time I've seen a car on track here.
Yeah, definitely. And I can't wait. And no doubt we're definitely going to see that. These cars are super fast, man. I was watching the guys drive around. I actually even put in a couple practice laps myself. And I'm telling you, going through 1 and 2, pretty exhilarating. You're just going to be kind of feathering the throttle right there, especially once you get up to speed. But coming down in 3 and 4, it's going to be tricky. And we got a lot of opportunities for a lot of drivers to make a lot of mistakes there tonight. But once again, you saw that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us a follow. Qualifying is underway right now. Just almost 4.5 minutes remaining. We're waiting to see those times start to pop up on the board. Look for your favorite. Who do you think's going to win this thing here tonight?
Honestly, just looking at the point standings, I've got to go with James Watson. Like you said, he's been consistent, and he's won the most races half the season without this included. So I think probably shoe in the number 39 for the win.
All right, that's your solid pick there. Cubby, what about you? Would you like to throw your hat in the ring and make a pick for tonight? Okay, Cubby's going to be joining us here momentarily. I think he's in the latrine. Oh, here he comes. Two flush.
2 seconds. Righto, I think I'm plugged in now. Not too sure who to go for since Wes has already taken James, but I don't think James will win it here tonight. He's got the championship wrapped up, so he's got a bit more of a relaxed attitude to go to this race. If I can get someone on bloody track. I'm thinking Drew Bernardi myself. I think Drew might be the one to watch out for tonight. I expect him to make a gap early and just expand on that gap throughout the race. Unless we see a yellow come out, I think it's his to win and his to lose. What about you, Big Al?
Man. I'm going with Brian Labarge. Brian with a Y, that is, man. Brian definitely, I was watching him through practice, and once he gets those tires warmed up, I think he kind of slips right in and out of there. But definitely, all three of us have different picks, which is going to make it ultimately a great race to watch here. Speaking of watching, we're watching qualifying. Wes Shire sitting on top of that qualification board right now with a 30.872. Labarge showing a 30.951. He's going to be in second. Only 5 drivers right now having times up on the board as we continue to bring you live coverage of the night's last and final event, round 10 of the Tuesday Night Shock Series. Sorry, my buddy Joe Lowe couldn't be here this evening. He had to step away on business, but you know what? Here, we're going to make this thing happen without Joe. That's right. We're going to make it happen. We got my main man, Wesley, joining me in the booth here tonight. Wesley, what's your background a little bit? Why don't you tell our fans a little bit about yourself?
So, I mean, me personally, I'm born and raised in the same county here in Western North Carolina, the same place where Hurricane Helene actually came and took out us for about 2 weeks, nearly a month. And just about everybody's recovered from that, so we're doing good. But racing-wise, I mean, I've grown up in racing. I've had family in racing from all the way from the 80s, and even still present day, some of them are within NASCAR specifically. But I grew up watching it. I loved watching the tracks. Me and my brothers, I mean, our first game I'd say was probably NASCAR Dirt to Daytona, so I fell in love with the sport. I watch it every single weekend. And on the league side, I mean, I've done league racing on Xbox since, I don't know, probably about 3 years now. 3 years, starting in 2023, February 2023, and been doing it since. I recently made the jump over to iRacing about a year ago. So I'm starting there. I've got my own I'm in a part of a driver development program just to try and get my skills up. I've got a coach that he works with me each and every week whenever we do our series on Wednesdays of runs. He will sit there. He'll put pressure on me. He'll tell me what I did wrong, tell me what I'm doing right. So I'm just kind of been all around within the world. I love the sport. I watch almost anything as well, not just NASCAR. I'll watch IndyCar. I watch F1. Not so much drag. I'll watch IMSA, WEC, a little bit of the motocross, and then also the supermotos that they do around Europe.
That's awesome. Well, colored history there for yourself. Being from North Carolina, I can actually relate. You know, everything that has a motor on it goes loud, goes fast. Hey, with that, what went fast qualifying? Let's go ahead and take a step away, get a word from our sponsors. We'll be back with the lineup in tonight's main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for countdown.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
The tracks you'd forgotten about are the ones you love.
131 Retro.
These go to 11.
And we are back. Remember, like, subscribe, follow. We need everything we can get on the pole for tonight's event. It's West Shire. He's your man. Brian Labarge is going to be sitting outside of him on P2. Third is going to be James Watson, and he's going to have Naiji Camargo on his outside. Next row is going to show Simon Fell. He's going to have Michael Long on his outside. Next row, we're going to have Eric Dubois, tied by Drew Bernardi. And Timothy Roberts is going to round out this 9-car field here tonight as we get ready to start to roll for what will be, once again, the final race of the season. You know, I was hoping we'd come in here and see maybe, more winners, but we did see a couple different winners, and we saw at least one first-time winner, so we can't really complain about that as the pace car gets ready to take us on the go. Man, and we're just watching this thing, going to see how it plays out. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I mean, I love this track. These cars are definitely interesting. I think they're what's supposed to be the Indy Lights, so high amount of grip through the turns and some good overall speed.
Oh yeah, but remember, it's just going to be. This thing is going to be won by Kegels, man, because I'm telling you, the guy that's not holding it right going into the corner, he's going to lose it, and it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for us to see some chaos, especially coming out of 3 and 4.
Oh, 3 and 4, it's definitely tricky. And also, I know we didn't talk about it, but you don't want to touch the curbs here. Even in a stock car, you don't want to touch the curbs. You touch one of those, you're spinning around facing the wrong way, and hopefully somebody doesn't jump off your nose.
And plus, you don't even have that opportunity by itself, but you also have a great opportunity to kiss the wall. Pace cars down and away, taking us through that Geico restart zone. Inside Lane Productions, and we are off. West Shire wasting no time getting this field up and running. James Watson's going to fall in line, and he is going to be in tow. Brian with a barge. He's going up high right now as everybody starts to try to find their lines. First couple of laps, no doubt, going to be
Watson in the wall as well.
Yeah, got to stay out. We're going to be watching that. A lot of drivers have, like I said, a lot of opportunity to run into the wall here tonight. Naiji Camargo there is just underneath Brian Labarge. As Brian kind of got kicked back just a little bit now, it seems to be back on the go, trying to get back in line to reel Watson in, who, ironically is now dialed into West Shire. West not looking back, trying to get a lead out on this thing early. But as behind him, it looks like we're stacking up single file.
Yeah, single file. I mean, that's the way Indy kind of runs. You can get a good amount of tow and slipstream off of these cars, and you just all of a sudden have extra about, 20 miles an hour down the straights. It feels like you can close that gap insanely fast as long as you're tucked up behind someone. And I think Watson's going for the lead right now. Look to the inside of Shire, but didn't quite get there.
Well, he's there, though, and West knows he's there, and Brian Labarge knows he's there. So Brian's hoping that these two are going to stay engaged, and that's going to give him the opportunity that he needs to actually catch up to Watson, because he's going to be trying to put that same amount of pressure on Watson tonight that Watson's putting on Shire right now. But West is going to have to make that car super wide, because the last thing he wants to see is losing the lead, especially before the first caution comes out. Watson almost made just a little bit of incidental contact with the wall. That's not the first time we've seen that. That's definitely going to be a factor as well if he keeps scrubbing that outside wall like that.
Yeah, and it's an open wheel car. I know personally with the next gen cup cars, with the stock cars, as many would call them, they're really sensitive whenever you get damaged, and these are evenly more so. It's easy to break one of your links right there. So keeping it out of the wall probably going to be big. You don't want to do it too much. You can get away with a little bit, I'd say, but if you do it 3, 4, maybe 5 times, I think you're going to start feeling a little bit of wheel damage to where your steering wheel's not quite straight going down the straights.
Definitely something you're going to have to watch out for, because remember, these drivers do not receive a fast repair, as Watson is all over the back of Shire right now, starting to give him the nose. Takes jabs, pokes here and there. Labarge, though, Brian, with the Y, he is watching all of this, and I'm telling you, Brian definitely wants to get his shot up top. But you know what? The most impressive thing about this is Naiji Camargo being behind these guys. I was watching Naiji in practice as well, and he was putting down some blistering lap time. So there's a lot of fast cars out there and down there. We just got to wait until they start to flake out and flake off and you know, go. I'm just waiting on them to go.
Yeah, and also with, Watson, he's showing he's not shyer at the nose almost every single time through 1 and 2, and eventually that might upset the 16 to where he gets out of his line and lets Watson get a better run through it and possibly get the pass done. You show the nose to the guy in front of you enough times, they might make into a small... There we are, big wiggle.
Hit that curb, the one that you were talking about that you did not want to make contact with, and that just cost him a little bit more than the lead. He's going to drop all the way back to 5th place, and he's going to be trying to fight to get back in the 4th. It looks like he's going to settle to remain in the top 5. Oh, back down on the inside, trying to get back up. West just had a little bobble, and you can see caution is out for the first time on the racetrack. Taking a look at that. Don't know exactly where it is. I don't have my operational track map. All right, well, we'll figure out exactly what took place. We don't have a choice, but meanwhile, we're going to take a quick step away. We'll be right back.
Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance. Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uests.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
And we are back, right back, getting ready to kick this thing off again. Pace car should be turning the lights off next time around. And guys, you know, just like I said, it looks like Drew Bernardi actually got a little chance to spin out back there. But you know, Drew likes to party Bernardi. Sometimes that involves a spin or two, you know, but he's not going to be the last one. I'm telling you.
There it is, right off 1 and 2.
Good. The best news is he kept it from hitting anything. But yeah, he definitely will not be the last. And a lot of action down on pit road as well. James Watson, Wes Shire, Eric Dubois, all down on pit road. What do you make of those pit stops? Wes?
Sorry?
What do you think of those pit stops?
I mean, you had what, 4 sets of tires throughout the whole race, and it's a 50-minute long race it was, I believe. So I'm not quite sure. You can split it up every about 12 minutes here. They pit about 7. So it's going to be a little bit, I think, too early for it. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long these tires are going to last. So these tires could last forever, and they could be just fine.
It's going to be tires and fuel. That's going to be the That's going to be the key to make it, because every little bit of fuel you put in the car is going to be less fuel that you have to put in the car. So that'll definitely make those stops go by a little bit quicker. Lights off on the pace car should be getting out of the way this time by. That's going to leave it back into the hands of none other than Brian with a Y. And we can't wait to get this thing kicked off and going again. Nigel Camargo is going to be right behind him. Labarge is off. Green flag's engaged. Nigel Camargo, not the best start, but definitely a good start, as he now gets a good chance to be up front now, tucked in right behind Brian, and we begin that task of following James Watson through the field.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was about to say I'm interested to see what, and bump drafting in an Indy car, you do not see that every day. Holy moly! I'm interested to see what the new tires are going to mean. Like I said, completely new car to me. I'm not exactly sure how they run, how they race, how tire wear comes into it. So it's going to be interesting for me to learn.
Yeah, not much. I don't think these cars have developed and evolved as much in the tire model as, say, some of the other more developed series. So tire wear and degradation isn't really, one of those dominating. It's not that great of a factor. I don't. Now, once we talk to the drivers down there tonight who are driving under these temperatures on that track, they'll be able to let us know exactly how well the tires, how great of a factor it was. So we're watching this thing right now, and it is all kinds of loose. Almost got some formation flying right there. As Watson's going to be right up in the middle, trying to make his way through. This
He's
group
still
of
giving a bump draft. That is honestly one of the weirdest things I've seen with an open wheel car, is actually doing bump drafting and not damaging your car, B, not wrecking someone else out then.
But you can see just how close these guys are in setup indeed, because they're not making a whole lot of headway there as Brian's dance partner gets a little wobbly there, and that's going to cause him to actually pop out to the outside. I do believe that was Wes Shire. But just like that, Watson has picked up quite a number of spaces.
Yeah, and now though, here's the thing that I want to say. He's got about 2.5 seconds between him and third place. The smartest thing, probably, the 5 of these guys try to line up and just run hot laps, see if they can get themselves back to the cars in front. But yeah, I think these boys just want to race.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the whole point. But look, Watson by himself, though, is starting to develop a little bit of a lead. He's going to get a gap from these guys, and that's going to give him the pressure that he needs on the front and the back. So he'll be able to make his own impact and definitely start chewing on that lead there between himself and the third place car, Simon Fell. Fell has to be feeling really good about his position right now. But everything is as it is for now.
Everything kind of staying in line, like you said. Now, gap, it's closed a little bit, but that's also because he's kind of fell off from the lead too. And meanwhile, Shire, Watson, they've kind of dragged themselves up.
Yeah, a lot of racing left to go, and you're gonna see drivers come and go. Oh, contact with the wall. That's never good.
You talked about it. That contact eventually can get dangerous. Whoa, hold on there, Shire. He touched the curb. It didn't loop him around, but he touched it, kept it underneath him, which is very impressive because that car was starting to look like it might end up snapping on him completely.
Yeah, Michael Long making that really uncelebrated contact with the wall, which is not what he wants. Watson now falling behind Wes Shire again. He's going to be using Shire to cut the win for him.
He's fallen behind for the moment, but they've been battling so much, they've lost even more time. Now it's about 4 seconds between them and third. Yeah, they need to start getting a move on.
Well, I agree with you 110%. Now, convincing those guys are the same is going to be the problem, because they're racing right there. The guys on your screen are really hammering each other pretty hard. Wes Shire now, remember Wes, he kind of got a little bit out of sorts there, and that really caused him to go from the lead all the way back to 5th place. Well, now he's in the 4th place trying to get back in stride, to get back up to the front. Going to be getting a little unsolicited help from Mr. Watson. Or solicit, I don't know. Maybe he asked him to give him some help. Right there, Watson on the inside now, making a move by Shire. Shire goes high, has the fleet with him. But these guys are going to start to fan out, and just like that, all the momentum is going to be sucked away from these guys.
It's just every little bit of this battle, and I mean, it's not necessarily a bad move, because there are points where Watson, he's absolutely faster. If he were to try to give a bump to Shire to get him to move faster and closer, he might end up wrecking him. So sometimes smart to pull out, but eventually it just costs them too much time.
And it is costing them a lot of time, because that lead now, that lead pack, they continue to build upon the lead that they do have now, up to over 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds. It's 3 cars, and then this group of, it seems like, 5 of them.
I had to make sure I was seeing that.
He's
right.
way far back.
Yeah, that's a little odd. Well, these guys are really that far off the pace, and yet they still continue to battle. Now, speaking of battling, Naiji Camargo now making his lead. He's come around Brian Labarge, and he is going to beat your race leader for the first time here tonight. Brian Labarge is going to come back in 2nd, and that's going to put Simon Fell in 3rd. But how about it for Naiji? Got to give him a big whoop, whoop. Go Naiji. So he's going to lead his first laps. Further back in the pack, Watson goes ahead and continues to try to make a run on Shire, as these guys are not any closer, I believe, to sorting this out than they were last time we checked in. Lots of racing going on right there, and that's the exciting point. You know, if you're looking for the excitement in the race, you're going to keep the camera right around there, because behind these guys, even with the transfership of the lead, you know, that lead is now still over 6 seconds. They've actually stretched it out, if you can believe that.
You can definitely run fast as a large group, but if there's even maybe 1 or 2 people that are trying to race, trying to advance their position, it looks good. Trust me, it does. It gives us an absolute show whenever we're watching it and broadcast over. But in the car, you might be getting frustrated because you feel like, hey, we're going too slow. We can work together. But then something might happen where it's like, yeah, I'm faster. I need to be in front. And then next thing you know, you're slowing each other down unintentionally. Well,
I'll tell you what, if the caution doesn't come out anytime soon, we'll be banking on green flag pit stops in order to right this kind of gap that we have here. But right now, it's giving us the full focus of the racetrack, because as you can see, looking over the shoulder of Shire, that these guys are, I mean, the leaders are almost out of the frame.
Leader's almost out of frame. He can probably barely see them going into the next turn as he exits the one he's on. And it's a little aggravating, I'd say. You're hoping everybody just falls in line, but I don't think it's going to happen. We said it, Watson probably already, or definitely has wrapped up the championship already, so he's probably just out here racing for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Out there racing for fun indeed. But there's still amount of bragging rights that are going to be on the line, because somebody still has to win this race. Not, you know, even though Watson might have the championship sewed up, as he dives deep down on the inside of Shire right now, Shire going to be battling to try to keep the position that he had. But guess what? Drew Bernardi is going to slip through both of these guys, and he's going to try to take up that 4th spot.
He had a great run following behind Watson through 3 and 4, and Watson, he eventually went up to cover Shire, and then Bernardi, like you said, he just slipped through, kept it on the inside line, and I don't think Watson tried to fight it much, but now he's up here high line through 3 and 4, gonna try to cut down maybe.
Yeah, just making that margin of error just that much slimmer and making that challenge even that much greater, because now you got a true 4-car stack here trying to fight to be in 5th place. But up front, that's not going to deter these guys. And now that, got one car is going to be back into the wall back there. Or maybe that was his car.
I think that was Roberts.
Sorry. Was that Roberts?
But,
okay.
Yeah, Roberts, but didn't quite catch it. It happened in a blink.
I didn't know if that was the car that was going down or if he was just trying to break the draft. Okay, we'll just go with it. No caution, everything's right. Looking at the time here, just over 31 minutes remaining in this competition. 31:40 to be exact, or somewhere around there. Still got every car that we started with. All 9 cars still actually out on the race service, making their way. Got 3 packs essentially, the lead pack of 3. Then you got a second pack of 4, and then everyone else is sprinkled somewhere in behind them. That's that lead pack right there that's on your screen as we speak. Led by Daisy Camargo or Brian LaBarge in second there, and you'll see Simon Fell in the 256 car coming in third.
These guys, they're nice and early out. They can race. I think they've definitely got time. They're not going to probably lose as much time if they do race compared to the group behind them. Even though it's kind of evened out, it's 4 against 3. You can race a little bit and not give up too much time.
Well, I think the guys behind them slowly got the memo that, hey, look, we're not really doing ourselves a whole lot of service trying to be a party of 1. Why don't we just, a party of 4? Why don't we just, instead of getting 4 single tables, why don't we just get a table for 4? Does that make sense?
It does. Instead of trying to fight for yourself, fight for the group, and then once you're up there with everybody else, fight for yourself.
Let's just get a table first. Then we can worry about what we're going to eat. Because, buddy, there's a lot of time left, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of events that are going to have to occur within that time period before we can even determine what's going on with this thing. As you can see, man, who's that?
Dubois.
Eric Dubois.
Hits the apron there, and the curbing through 3 and 4 just absolutely loses it.
All right, so you remember just a little bit, because here's the thing, in case you don't know this about me, there's either James Watson has to prove me wrong or just life. So I said all 9 cars are still in this thing, and that couldn't be true. So there it is. Now one's gone. There's no fast repairs in this league. So Eric Dubois has taken himself behind the wall.
Well, only 1 car out of 9 out. We still got 8 on track, and it seems like stuff settled down for the most part for their backpack, and they seem like they might be gaining a little bit every lap. And like you said, though, we do have cautions probably coming into the mix here, so gonna be a little interesting.
Yeah, well, if these guys can keep off of each other, I don't think we've already seen that if the guys in the rear actually do right, we probably don't have as high a probability to see a caution right now. Watson's going to be making this move. We're trying to come back around West Shire as these guys continue to battle it out for what would be 5th place.
Shire kind of gives that up easily. Watson had the better car at the moment, and there's nothing wrong with trading position if a car is faster. Just give it to him easy, and then don't try to fight it out like Shire right there. He stepped into the inside of Watson. They're going to be side by side off corner exit. Massive moment from Bernardi there off of exit 2 as well.
Yeah, Drew's going to definitely make it happen. Ooh, a little bit of contact almost.
Yeah, he had an absolute great run through 3 and 4.
A little sketchy.
Watson's thinking about 3 wide. Well, Bernardi, he's absolutely let off and just let everyone get past him.
Yeah, I think he just kind of like thought better of the whole situation, man. He just said, hey, there's plenty of time left to race. I'm just going to kind of fall back here and get ready for, because those pit stops are coming. They're going to have to show up here sometime soon. These cars can go anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes on a tank of gas. Remember, we got a couple different strategies going on because there are at least 3 cars that are on a different pit cycle than the remaining 5. And that is going to make this interesting in itself. Because remember, the 3 guys that are on that different pit cycle, they're all right there together. That's cool.
So everybody that didn't pit during that caution, they've actually come onto pit road already.
Yep.
So we see that happening about halfway through the race. Like you said, about 25 laps, 50 minutes for the race. So they're on pit road to make their one stop. Whereas for Shire, Watson, Long, and Bernardi, they still need to stop again. Just probably running it as long as they can.
Yeah, and Barton, if they don't get the caution that they need, that's going to make that very interesting. But we're still, this track has a very interesting pit entry, right? So we don't know. These guys are going to have to navigate that probably close to the same time, if not on the same lap. They're on the same pit sequence now. I don't know why they would elect not to do that as well. Don't want to break up that draft that they got going. Like you said, they are a pack of 4. And that makes a difference as well. That lead pack now back out on the race surface, and they're getting it to go. Well, now it's just a matter of time of seeing how we're going to stack this one back together. Now, no one wants to see a caution right now, I would imagine.
I don't think so. And with that pit lane as well, you lose a lap, and you can see it right here in front of what is now the lead pack. Are those that just came off pit road, so they've lost a huge amount of time a lap for sure, on nearly 2. And it's also, I want to say, this pit road's a little tricky, just because it's like about 1 car, 1.5. You might be able to fit 2, but you're going to be on the grass just a little bit. Cars wide, and it's really slow and technical to get onto, and then getting off of pit road, you want to hammer the throttle as soon as you straighten your car up, but even then it doesn't want to go straight.
Oh yeah, and it's taunting you because it's just so much wide open space, yet you can only go so fast. And so that's what you're going to run into here, guys, and they're going to be impatient. This is the time in the race where patience is going to be key, especially if you want to go ahead and be available at the end of this thing, because right now anything could happen, and that's what we're waiting to see. Just what is going to happen. Remember, these 4 cars still running. They don't have to pit right now. They still hold somewhat of an advantage.
Don't have to pit now. By about 25 minutes of fuel, I'd say they have to pit, though, within probably, I'd say 2 minutes is when I'd expect them down pit road.
Yeah, it's got to be close.
Because they did come under that caution.
And, another thing, too, is you don't want to stay out so long that an advantage becomes a detriment. And right now, the tires that they're on, just assuming that their tires are older, that's going to be a problem for them.
There's Watson on the pit road.
Your tires definitely have shown somewhere, but probably not as bad as you would expect it to be. As now, with Watson pitting by himself, this is going to give us 3 definitive groups.
Watson being a single car, you know what? I don't hate it that much. Being just a single car, you might be able to find a little bit of free air and you're not having to worry about racing someone else. It could be a bit of a strategy play.
Well, if there's anybody out there that's going to call strategy into play, I definitely was going to say it's going to be James Watson, because he's probably done a little bit of everything this season. And that I wasn't always winning, but I guarantee you he always was on the edge of sanity with his strategy. And we've seen what happens when James loses that coin toss. It could be rough. But yeah, tonight we're gonna see how he fares. I'm not sure if I made sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, James, he takes a gamble. He'll take a risk. And we've seen, at least on 4 occasions this season, where those risks have not turned out in his favor. And we'll say when things don't turn out in his favor, James just doesn't, he's not happy. That's when we get hit.
And Bernardi, he's now on the pit road, so that leaves, nope, never mind. And Long, he's now going to duck off in. I was about to say that leaves the 21 of Michael Long still out. But he finally comes in, so lead back to the 59. Tell me how to pronounce that name, please.
The 59, Naizi Camargo.
Naizi Camargo. He's going to give the lead over to Naizi Camargo. And he's still got Brian Labarge and Simon Fell right up against his rear. So not really a break he's got.
No, not a lot of breaks going on at all, man. I'm kind of just taking a look at everything that's going on out here. We got a lot that's happening.
That's happening, and then through that pit cycle as well, I'd say Westshire. I almost want to say Westshire with a T, but no, it's just Westshire. He's kind of cut the gap down a little bit. Before every bit of pit cycle went on, they were about 7.5 back to around 8 seconds back. That second group, he's now only about 5.5 back.
And remember, Watson was the one that pitted out of sequence, yet Shire is the one that's kind of in the middle. So I do find that equally as amazing as well. Because Shire right now, him being 5 seconds away from the 3 cars in front of him, that's a lot closer than 4th place has been all night. 4th place has been averaging somewhere between 6 and 8 seconds back. Some of these guys are still that far back. Michael Long, 5th place, he's some 9.5 seconds behind. And if the caution doesn't come out, they don't make that time up. That you're not going to drive 4 seconds off the clock.
I don't think you are in the slightest. Now, Shire, he's definitely putting some effort in. He's hovering around that 5.5 to 5.4, so he's trying his hardest. I just don't think he's going to get there without a caution.
Yeah, I think he needs to keep as much space and distance between himself and Michael Long as possible. The last thing he wants to see is Long and Bernardi starting to pull up and get closer to him. And the last thing Naizi and Simon Fell want to see is Shire getting closer to them. So nobody wants to caution right now. Everybody wants this thing to just run it out. We got just under 20 minutes left, bringing it all to you. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and step away, get a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be able to come back and run this thing all the way home for you.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance? Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uestas.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Guess what? We're back bringing you the action right here. Nothing has changed really since we've been gone. Brian LaBarge now in the lead, some 0.3 of a second over Naiji Camargo in second. Simon Fell still hanging back there, 0.3 of a second behind Camargo in third. Then Westshire, he's lost a little ground, was about 5.3, 5.4 seconds. Now he finds himself 6.7 seconds. But Watson, Bernardi, and Long, they've all slipped back to well over 13 seconds behind. So that's how it stacks up. That's how it's looking on the field. Got Mr. Roberts, Timothy Type 1 each. He is going to be scored 1 lap down. And Eric Dubois, you saw him in that earlier crash where he splattered paint all over the backstretch, is going to be scored some 28 laps down. How you feeling, boss? Is this going fast enough? Is this as fast as you thought it was gonna be?
I mean, everything's kind of strung out right now, so it's can be titled a little bit of a snooze fest. Though these cars, I guarantee those drivers, they're probably sitting there saying, "Hey, can this not go any longer?" Maybe just because of the fact that this is happening at what is it, 170 miles an hour almost the whole way around the track.
Yeah, you know, we can simulate the racing, but we're not going to be able to simulate the time. So they're going to have to actually have to sit down there and run the remaining 14 minutes off of this. And in that period of time, you know, who knows what could happen.
Who knows? We could still, I mean, there's the three leaders right here. They're on top of each other. Then Shire, he's got a bit of a gap between the duo of Watson and Bernardi. And we've seen it. A couple of drivers have hit those curbings through 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and have upset their car and spun them. Dubois being one of the main victims of it, being put out of the race because his car took damage and couldn't repair it. So something like that could happen again and bring out a caution. Who knows?
I definitely think caution is an opportunity. Caution is looking for an opportunity to arise. And we're just waiting to see where caution cops up, because there's a lot going on down on the racetrack. And these laps, you know, although it seems like it is kind of a snooze fest, these drivers still have to make these turns. They still have to be perfect to go around. Otherwise, they will go around.
Yeah, and it's just such high speeds as well. Like I said, I think it's around 170 miles an hour. They're continuing the whole way around the track. Well, maybe not 170. They're hitting 130 right there through 1 and 2. And then up here through 3 and 4, they get into it about 150. So not quite 170, hovering between the 130s and 155s nearly. So it's still high speed, and you can't really relax for a second, or else you're going to end up making a mistake.
You're going to make a mistake. Got another car down on pit road. Interested to see what's going on there.
And fell.
We'll be scratching our head to see all the 256 cars down.
80 under fuel.
Wow. That's going to be bad for Simon. He whatever momentum these guys had built up, they obviously are going to lose it now because I don't see the rest of the field having to stop. I mean, so yeah, there's no way you drop back through that.
Yeah, I know at least, and I'm going to say a lot about stock cars here and some of the different leagues. There are some people that will purposefully underfuel their cars because they know there's a high possibility of a wreck and stuff, or that they know they can save that much. And like I said, I know about nothing about this car, so I don't know what the tire wear is like. I don't know what the fuel mileage is like or anything. I don't know how easy it is to save in these cars. So he might have been banking on that and just couldn't quite make it last as long as he thought he might have.
Well, I'm not gonna speak on the difficulty level, whether it's easier, hard, or hardest. But I'll say that it definitely can be done. But generally, when you see that driver that's saving, you can usually detect it. But B, it's got to be a lot closer than this. I don't think this is this is a one-stop solid race. I just don't see the advantage of not filling the car up, if that makes sense.
I understand what you're saying. So, and then here we go. Is that
there's Brian
Margot down?
That's Brian Labarge.
Yeah, Labarge back down. So these leaders having to stop again, and they stopped about only 5 minutes ahead of what Shire, Watson, Bernardi all did, and 10 minutes left in the race. Are they gonna have to stop again as well?
Look, and then there I go. I say something, and these guys prove me I don't know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I definitely don't know what I'm talking about. So if you don't know what you're talking about, I'm completely lost.
Here I was thinking I knew what was going on, but definitely a short stop. Looks like he just got a bump of gas. Not a lot of time behind the wall there. Labarge 4.4 seconds. Simon Fell 4.1 seconds. Those stops right there.
Yeah, so really quick, and I think I agree with you. Just enough gas to get him to the end, hopefully. And I think it's at about 20 to 25 minutes was estimated fuel. So if it was on the 20 side, it makes sense. We've got 10 minutes left in the race.
Well, the next person that we will see will be Mr. Roberts, and that we got one car coming down pit road now. Let me see who that is. Michael Long is coming down pit road. So these guys are all going to have to stop again. That's interesting. Michael Long being scored a lap down as well. Last time he stopped, though, was only for 6.1 seconds. Watson spent a full 10.9 seconds in the box when he was down, and now he is being scored in third place. So when you were talking about the saving, well, now you're starting to see if the saving can be done. And we're getting a clearer picture of what's happening, because it does appear that this is definitely going to be a 3 or 4 stop race for some.
Yeah, well, maybe not 3 or 4. Definitely, well, yeah, not 3 or 4 for some. Some of them are only going to have to do 2. The others that came in during that caution, it seems like they're probably going to have to do 3. And really, if you want to save, and this also very equivalent of what we'd have on the stock car side, best way to do it is you need to be behind somebody in the draft. That way you're not 100% throttled down the straights, and you can kind of use them to keep up your speed.
These guys weren't saving. As hard as they were racing, especially, the 4th place cars and back, there's no way that anybody was trying to conserve anything. I mean, they were out there getting it. I mean, in providing great racing and great entertainment. Now we're watching Watson, and now he is up into 2nd place right now. So, and I was going to tell you, if there was going to be one person down there that was going to be saving, whoever had that strategy, it was going to be James Watson. He goes in hard on his strategies, and sometimes he's right. And tonight, I mean, I'm watching Mr. Watson, and I'm sitting here trying to scratch my head. And if these numbers line up the way they do, what say you about that?
100% sure on that. The other spoiler is Shire I'd be curious to see what he's going to do because, I mean, he's not fallen back tremendously. He's kept around 6 seconds between himself and James Watson.
So the thing about it between Shire and Watson is they're both on the same pit sequence. Watson just 1 lap off of Shire. So at 30 and 31, they're the longest next to Tim Roberts with 37 laps on his equipment. So everybody has come in at about, looking at Roberts, he's saying you can do 37.
Well, Roberts just came in as well. So now the next highest between after them is Drew Bernardi, and he's already had both Camargo and Labarge get around him.
So ultimately, this is going to be Wes Shire and James Watson having to come down and pit one more time unless they're save masters, unless they're on a save-a-thon. Now, one more car down on pit road right now. I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, car absolutely fenced. I think
he towed.
That was Bernardi?
Was that Simon Fell? So Bernardi goes out again for the second time tonight. Remember, Bernardi was responsible for the first caution that we had, as that was a single car spin.
This one, though, Day Dunn, it looked like.
Say again?
This one looked like it might have been Day Dunn, though. He took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I think that's Camargo and Labarge fighting right there. That's third place. And it looked like it was a really tight exit off of turn 2, as I think it's Camargo in that green car. Am I right?
Yes.
So Camargo in the green car almost looked like Labarge pinched him up towards the wall, but both of them kept it out of each other, out of the wall, and going straight.
Still waiting and watching, as I did just see Simon Fell in the 256 car come in and pit, which means the 2 cars that are left on the racetrack that have not pitted, first and second place car, and they are a lap apart, with James Watson having
there's Watson.
Lap. Watson coming down the pit. That means Shire will be behind him or close to it.
I would probably assume so.
That's going to put Naizi back up in the front with Labarge. Yeah, wow. That was a knee slapper. How about that? That's what we'll call it. As you're seeing Watson down on pit road again. Getting just enough gas to get him through to the end.
So Watson made his gamble. He's coming back out in fourth. Shire, though, 3 minutes left in the race. I'd be wondering when he's exactly going to come into pit road.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty sure he's got to make another stop.
He does. And right now, he's just prolonging the inevitable.
He's in now.
There it is. And now you're watching Naidi Camargo, and he is racing side by side with Brian Labarge, and this will be the race for the lead. And with just over 2.5 minutes left, this is going to be the battle for who's going to bring this one home. You know, barring some unforeseen circumstance. i.e. a caution of these two guys taking themselves out.
I agree with you. It's probably between these two. And they've been kind of going at it all race from what I've seen as well. So under 2 minutes now, so it's looking like 4 laps. I'd say give or take 4.5 maybe. And Watson, he's fallen still back and forth. Shire came out in front of him after the pit cycle. They're the only 4 on the lead lap. Roberts fell and Bernardi both laps down. Long and Dubois, they're out of the race. Seems like Fell, he's also out. It seems long time on pit road for now.
Yeah, he is. His pit clicker's continuing to climb. And like you said, doesn't look like he's actually going to get that car back out there. So the battle right now you're seeing on your screen, that's going to be the one you're watching. Who's going to win round 10? The last and final race of the season.
Sorry, what'd you say, Kobe? Oh, LaBarge is actually carrying a meatball as well, so that means he's got damage that he needs to fix. And that's a penalty of sorts, so he might get disqualified.
It's a black flag is what that is. Yeah, wow. So now easy now. Pretty much your undeclared winner as the white flag is out. I seen it. And one more trip around, and the Easy Camargo is going to be your winner. Don't know how far down Brian LaBarge is going to fall, but right now he is being scored in first place. That's not right.
I'm also confused as to where the meatballs come from because his car looks fine.
Well, it's maintenance. Hey, look at that. Easy Camargo, your winner here. Hi-ho, Easy Camargo. Putting on a heck of a run here, man. Starting this thing all the way back and forth and bringing it home.
That's a great run up through the field.
Yeah, man, that is. We should have simultaneous 2 celebrations going on here because Naeezy won the race, but Watson won the championship. So both of these 2 gentlemen have something to celebrate. We're going to kind of split our coverage between the 2. I believe Watson's ceremonial celebration is probably going to be just as epic. But wow, what a show. Fireworks already, man. It's amazing. And then one more time with the officials. Looks like that's going to be Naeezy Camargo, your winner here tonight. Brian LaBarge in second. Third place shows was Shire, James Watson in fourth. Timothy Roberts fifth. Simon Fell across the wall in sixth. Seventh place shows Drew Bernardi, Michael Long in eighth, and ninth. Eric Dubois is going to round out this 9-car field here tonight, getting it done. Watching those burnouts, we're going to take a step away here. Get a quick word from our sponsors, and then we're going to be back. And we're going to be covering these guys down here a little closer.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
The tracks you'd forgotten about are the ones you love.
131 Retro.
These go to 11.
Well, guess what? We're back. Getting ready to wrap this one up. I'm going to bring you a special treat as Wesley is going to be interviewing not only Wes Shire, but also Brian the Barge. Wesley, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Alrighty, hey Wes, it's Wesley and Big Al up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, gotcha. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Well, a little bit of an interesting night. You were up front for a good bit, and then after that caution, had a split strategy where you came down. Meanwhile, I'm sorry, I'm absolutely butchering his first name. Camargo and then Labarge, they stayed out. They only had to pit twice. You had to end up pitting 3 times for it. But third place, definitely not something to shy away from.
Yeah, I'll take it. I thought I was pulling a fast one with the strategy, and I miscalculated that I would be leading the pack the entire time, therefore would not have enough fuel save to make it to the end from there. But yeah, it is what it is. So
Is what it is. I'd say third's not a bad overall finish. At one point, though, like you said, leading the main pack, once there was that major separation between third and fourth, and there was a good amount of fighting between you and James Watson there. Were you ever thinking like, hey, let's just... And I was honestly shocked when I saw it, but seeing Watson do bump drafting in this style of car absolutely threw me off. Where at one point you trying to ask him rather to do that to you and try to get closer.
Yeah, our initial plan once we lost the draft was going to be, because we knew I was on lower wing, so I would lead, he would bump draft, and the hope was we'd be able to catch the pack, but yeah, they were just too fast, so yeah.
Well, too fast, it doesn't matter. I'll always say third place, it ain't bad in the slightest. So, but before we let you go for tonight, I've also got a question. This is the first time for me ever looking at these cars to begin with. I understand nothing about them. Can you give me a quick rundown of how they feel whenever they're out on track?
Yeah, so for Gateway, we tend to run the cars pretty loose, as you'll probably have seen based on some of my saves throughout the night. There is dirty air you have to manage. My car actually felt really good about 2 cars back in the dirty air. But yeah, really it's just about timing your runs off the corners and not putting too much wheel into it with how loose we run these things. They are a little bit skittish and a little bit they're very happy to slide, but it's a little easy to overdo it at times.
All right, I mean, that is good to know. So third place in a very skittish car from what it sounded like. Good finish overall. You got any shout outs you want to give before we let you go for the rest of the night?
Yep, as always, got to thank you guys for the broadcast. Got to thank everybody here at TNT for helping to put this together. And we should be back after the summer break once I no longer live at work for the next 4 months. Yeah, we'll get a schedule out for that in a couple of months here. And other than that, big shout out to Homestead Coffee, keeping me awake and alert enough to do all this week in and week out.
Well, man, it sounds like an absolute fun time to being. We appreciate y'all giving us a show to do a commentary over and broadcast. Have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
Third place right there was Wes Shire. But second place with a meatball right here. Hey, Brian, it's Wesley and Big Al up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, my fine sir. Second place finish in big news. You had a meatball on that final run. What caused that?
I touched the wall. I just didn't think I hit it hard enough to cause a meatball.
Apparently you had it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was with like 4 to go. There was one pass that I was trying to. I can't remember if I was still in. I think it was still in second, but I was trying to make sure that I was leaving enough room for Nietzsche on the bottom, while still making sure I could at least turn and make the corner. And it didn't come in. It didn't bite, and then I kind of backed off on it, and I did scrape it a little bit, but I didn't think I hit the wall all that hard. But like, the car felt fine after that. I mean, maybe a little extra understeer in the last 2 laps, but it didn't really feel all like it was meatball worthy, to be honest.
Yeah, meatballs are really a perplexing thing with iRacing. You can feel like, and I talked about it during the race when we saw James early on get into the wall a couple times. It's like, you might be able to get away with that once or twice, but 3 or 4 times you're going to start feeling it. So it was like one time gave very slight damage. You felt nothing until the final couple of laps, and it just popped up saying you had it.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the first time I'd hit even come close to grazing the wall the entire race, was that until whatever it was, 4 laps to go. So, I mean, the car was handling brilliantly up until that one point, and then it's just, I didn't take new tires in the last at that last stop, so I don't know what my tires were because of the epic burnouts at the end. But yeah, it was starting to get a little understeery towards the end of that last stint, just with the used tires, and I think that inevitably that's what kind of cost me the race there. I think if I had taken tires, I still would have lost time. I might have been able to catch up, but I also might have been enough of a time deficit where I would have lost the draft and not been able to catch up at all. So I mean, I'll take the second place. Kind of sucks that it could have been first, but hey, that was like just a lot of really good fun.
Second place ain't nothing to scoff at, and for a moment up there, and I'm still butchering his first name. I'm just gonna go with Camargo for the moment. But the two
AJ Camargo.
Plus it seemed like AJ Camargo.
It's a G Camargo.
Camargo, okay.
Yeah, Camargo, like we go racing.
Okay, Camargo.
I think
him,
yeah.
And then I think it was also at one point you had Simon Fell up there for the longest time after the caution came out. 3 of y'all just kind of set your own speed, and as everybody raced behind you, set off and sailed away.
Yeah, actually, Nietzsche and I were both talking about that actually right before this interview, that we were worried about Simon because he was just kind of just chilling there, saving fuel, and had probably just as much pace as we did. So we figured he might be at least go maybe a little longer, maybe undercut us a little bit by maybe a couple laps. But yeah, it was at that point, yeah, we were just, the 3 of us were just kind of just up there just cruising, trying to build that gap, because I think the gap back to that second pack there from like 4th backwards was, I think we got it up to about like 5 or 6 seconds.
Got it up to 7, nearly 8.
Oh, was it that much? Wow. All right. So yeah, that I think that's what kept us on the podium, and what kept Wes and James a little further back, because I think they got caught up in that pack and they just couldn't come forward after that early stop.
Yeah, that's definitely what it seemed like. But I mean, this is my first time watching this series, seeing these cars on track, so I had like almost nothing to go by up here. Tried my best all night. Y'all put on a great race though. It was good to see a lot of high speeds through Gateway compared to what I'm used to on the stock car side of things, with like NASCARs and the Cup cars and trucks. So it's completely different, a lot faster, and a lot more of a narrow window, I would say.
Yeah, it's you're mostly flat around the entire track. I mean, you may have to lift at both ends depending on your setup or depending on how much you are in traffic. But for the majority of it, if you're kind of off on your own, definitely 3 and 4 is flat. A lift going into 1 and 2, just mid corner to accelerate that out. But yeah, but for the most part, I mean, in these cars, it's floor, pedal, draft, fun.
Well, that's a good final 3 words to put it for the race that we had tonight. Before we let you go to go and enjoy the rest of it, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, obviously, first off, thank you to you guys for broadcasting for the whole season. That was really quite nice of you, and we all greatly appreciate it. Got to thank Team Watson Racing Setups and Captain James Watson for having a great group of racers here. Having this league, shout out to Wes for league admin, for getting for organizing and preparing all the sessions. This is something that I think all of the drivers that participate this on the regular definitely look forward to every single time it comes around. So we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Wes's hard work, so got to give him a shout out for that too as well. So thanks everyone.
No problem. Thank you for giving us a show to broadcast over, and have a good rest of your night.
All right, thank you.
Outlaw is second place, Brian with a Y Labarge. And now for your race winner, take it away, Al.
Hey, Big Al, I'm back. And standing in the booth, I should be sitting beside the race winner tonight, Mr. Naish Camargo. Naish, how you doing, sir? This is Big Al. You got me?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, I tell you, that was quite a struggle you guys had going on down there. But luckily for you, you seem to have been in the front of the struggles more so than the back.
Yeah, it was a really tight battle with Brian then. It was an incredible battle. Then I was happy that my car felt a little better than his on the old tires, because I had nothing when he had new tires and he had clean air. I had nothing for him.
Yeah, so tires obviously made that much of a deal here tonight compared to previous races, you think?
Yeah, especially it's not that the car was harder to drive, but you start to get like a bit of understeer. You start to not getting the same speed at the end of the run, and like the little things start to add up. And if your car is not set up for that, it just starts to hurt you every time, especially at the end when you're trying to fight for that position. And here is really, really close.
So now, easy. I've been following you here for a couple of years now, and I especially this season. So watching you tonight come out here and really seem comfortable as you just kind of strolled up to the front of this thing. And I know it was a lot more going on down there where you were at, but do you think that your confidence has something to do with being familiar with the track, or do you think you just now got everything clicking with the car?
Yeah, this season was not really great for me. I struggled a bit, had some silly mistakes. I didn't have the time I usually have for practice, even though I know the car, even though I know most of the tracks. I just didn't have enough time to practice the way I like it. And especially this track, I really like this track. I'm really comfortable here. So it really helps that I'm comfortable racing here, and it just clicked. Like, it was good racing with the guys. I know them, I can trust them. I know they won't do anything dumb in the race, so I can push harder. And it was a really great race for me today.
Yeah, definitely it was, man. And like I said, you look totally comfortable up there. You look like you were in your element. You guys look like you were having a great time. You made it look easy, man. Who are you shouting out here for your win here tonight in the TNT Tuesday Night Thunder Series?
Yeah, always for the guys on TWR. It's an incredible team that helps me a lot in every series I race. You guys here in the booth make the show always fun to watch. So, and everyone in the Discord that makes this league works.
Well, Roger that. Thank you, sir, for giving us something to talk about. And as I always say, don't party too hard. And in this case, we won't see you next week, but we will be watching for you.
Thank you, man.
All right, congratulations. That was Naishi Camargo. He was your first place winner here tonight, an overall dominant figure. But speaking of dominance, I would be remiss if I weren't able to talk to not just the fourth place finisher tonight, but the overall champion of the season, Mr. James Watson.
Hello.
James, I'm going to tell you, whether I'm in the booth with you or watching you on the track, buddy, you'd never, ever leave nothing but a smile on my face. Congratulations to you for once again dominating this series and bringing home yet another championship.
Yeah, it's really sobering to think about actually being able to realize, holy crap, I three-peated. Like, I'm fairly certain I've said this last season, because I'm fairly certain I've said this basically every time this happened. You know, I've been a part of this series since day one, almost 5.5 years ago, and it was such a long journey to get to a point to where I was a consistent race winner. It took ages, and I wasn't sure it was something that was gonna happen. Like, it was to the point to where, you know, I was happy and over the moon that I was able to get on the podium on a consistent basis, but I'm like, oh, there's no way I'll ever be able to become a champion in this series and actually go up against, you know, Wes and all of them and Brian, and actually be able to come out on top, and to all of a sudden to just do it 3 years in a row, and 4 of the last 5. It's ridiculous. Like, I remember the season before I won my first championship here, I was leading the points coming into the finale right here, and got taken out lap 1 and lost it, and I was arguably the most distraught I had ever been, because I thought that was gonna be my only shot, and I didn't think I would ever be able to come close to contending again, let alone winning it. And so to accomplish what I've accomplished the last few seasons, it's wild, to say the least.
Yeah, indeed. And I do remember last season, heck, you called most of the season in the car from the booth, or from the booth in the car. I don't know, however you want to say it, but
no, you're getting that mixed up from a different league. Definitely not this one. This is full focus, full force.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's how much time we spend together, James, man. And like I said, you always leave me with a smile on my face, whether it was watching you from the car or being with you in the booth. Man, nothing short of phenomenal. Covered you this season, watching you come back, and like you said, 3 in a row, that is no small feat. So congratulations for the turkey on that. And the next question, I guess, and this will be my closing question, because I know you're going to thank Megan. But who else are you going to give a shout out to for your overall dominant performance this year in the Tuesday Night Thunder Series?
Definitely gotta thank quite a lot of people. You know, I was a bit of a basket case this season. This one was a lot tougher, because this was a schedule full of a lot of tracks that I had either very little experience with, or had well enough experience to know that I was going to be in trouble pace-wise, coupled with the fact that, you know, we were also adding in the Pro Mazda, which I've never touched setup-wise, adding in the USF, which I've always struggled with a lot more. So I was very nervous and very on edge, because I very much did not think that coming out on top was going to be a possibility this year. So a lot of people had to deal with me, you know,
dealing with that. My folks definitely had to deal with a lot, trying to get me back into some sort of focus and fighting shape, especially after Indianapolis. That one really stung with all the stress of the championship. One of my biggest rivals, considering the championship, Brian, winning it. I've also really been trying to get a win at the Speedway and always coming short for one way or another. So yeah, that one hurt. So them having to kind of point me through the right direction again, and Eric Dubois was also a big help in dealing with me venting and helping me get back to a place where I can try to focus and try to claw back the momentum. And thank God, because while I did not really catch many breaks this race, far from it, there were quite a few races this season where I caught some huge breaks that really turned the tide. Like IRP was a big one, because that was I had penciled that in for a Brian win, and so a lot of things fell into my lap for me to win that race. And it's a much different looking battle if that race goes how I was assuming, basically guaranteeing how it was gonna go. So yeah, I gotta thank everyone else on the team. As you can see, the vast majority of the team is involved in this series, between Naiji, Drew, Eric, Miles, Wes, and Brian. So to see everyone succeeding like this, and getting wins and competing, even though it is just kind of us at this point, it's still cool to see and fun to be able to battle as hard as we do, wheel to wheel, with your friends and your teammates. And hopefully we'll be able to get participation back up to what it used to be. But gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSBIN39 for 10% off at checkout. Binks Designs, Inside Lane Productions, Icon Sim Racing Apparel, ZAS Designs, Dizzy V Designs, and Control Z Designs for putting together my paint schemes, and of course Megan.
All right, James, man, congratulations once again to you for being this season's champion. I can't wait to see you do it again next year. I'm so happy to be a part of this, man. Go out, do great things, and as I always say, James, don't party too hard.
Here's open. Cheers, Miguel.
All right, cheers. Oh, wow, that was a lot. Now, here we go, wrapping it up here. What did you think, boss? I mean, did it exceed your expectations? Are we right there? I mean, how you feeling?
I will say, just first time here, of course, being in the championship race, it was interesting to say the least. And it was fun to call these cars, or, I was going to say weird creations for a second, but these cars, they definitely make for something interesting. Fun to watch, and I think it was Labarge, he said you're about 100% throttle this whole way around, depending on how tight you are, how close you are behind in the draft and your setup. So it was very interesting and made for some good action throughout the race.
Well, absolutely, man. I appreciate you stepping in, especially in stepping up in the absence of my main man, Joe. Give Joe a shout out. He's been here every race of the season except for this one's kind of sucks, missing the championship. But you know what? We still made it happen. Also want to thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us, man, making this season be as successful as it was. I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors, the guys over at Inside Lane Productions, the guys over at TNT Productions, also Team Watson's race setups. Want to give them a shout out. Shout out to the folks over at Fall In. Also TNT Productions. And guess what? That is not all, folks. We do have another vintage racing event is coming up. It's going to be featured on the 5th of June, the TNT Vintage Indy race. This will be the 6th inaugural race, I do believe, the 6th race overall. So we got 5 different classes that are going to be racing there. And we're going to be giving tickets out, stickers for all of those classes. It's going to be a 50-minute race. So if you or someone you love could participate in that race, please let us know. As we're wrapping this thing up, I want to give a shout out. Thank you, Kobe, for everything you did, making this season a success. Thanks, Joe, for leading this off, man, kicking it up. James and the guys over in this league, you guys really made it fun to call and great to talk about. Thank you all again for your time. As I always say, just go out there and just, party. But don't party too hard. Big Al out.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.